Imagine spending 16 hours hauling cargo on a deep space station, only to nearly die because you bumped into the wrong backside. Not just anyone's, no. Ryan Mitchell, an exhausted human worker, accidentally collided with the most feared alien noble on Meridian Station, a Sanguis vampire woman with eyes like burning rubies. And a reputation for executing people over minor inconveniences, the marketplace froze. Her gaze locked on him. And then she whispered the words no human ever wants to hear. Do you want to die, human? If you're already hooked, hit like so. The algorithm knows you're alive. Subscribe for more wild hfySci-Fi stories. And share this with someone who definitely bumped into an alien by accident. Trust me, things only get crazier from here. Ryan Mitchell never meant to start an interstellar incident. All he wanted, all he desperately craved, was sleep. But after 16 brutal hours hauling crates across Station Meridian, the universe apparently decided he hadn't been humiliated enough. The artificial gravity felt heavier than usual, his boots stuck to the floor like glue, and his eyes were so tired they kept trying to shut themselves like faulty blast doors. The marketplace was its usual chaos, shouting vendors, flickering signs, food smells, alien pheromones, and the kind of noise that made a migraine feel like a gentle lullaby. Ryan was too exhausted to navigate properly, too exhausted to think, too exhausted to notice that fate was already winding up the world's most cosmic slap. He turned a corner too fast. His elbow brushed something soft. His tired legs stumbled. And poor, doomed Ryan collided face first into someone's backside. Not just someone, Lady Savara, Sanguis, noble, galactic diplomat, living legend, warrior, elder, vampire. The conversations around him didn't fade, they died. Like someone vacuumed the sound out of the air, Ryan jerked back, horrified. I'm so sorry, I didn't see, she turned. And every cell in his human body whispered one desperate thought, we die now. Her skin looked carved from marble. Her eyes glowed a crimson so sharp it felt like it could slice bone. Her pointed ears twitched with predatory precision. She didn't merely look at Ryan, she evaluated him the way a hawk observes a mouse, deciding whether it's worth the calories. Do you want to die, human? She said softly. The words slid like velvet over a razor, dangerous, elegant, final. Ryan's mouth went dry. No, my lady, please, it was an accident. You assaulted me. She stepped closer, her presence colder than space itself. In front of witnesses. Execution. That was what the Sanguis called it. A perfectly legal, perfectly swift consequence for dishonoring a noble. Ryan felt his heartbeat hammering so loudly he wondered if she could hear it. She probably could. Vampires were weird like that. It was silence. His teeth clicked shut. Savara circled him slowly, gracefully, like she was inspecting a museum artifact labeled human making final mistake. The crowd watched in horrified fascination. Several alien merchants backed away like Ryan might explode. A nervous vendor pretended to rearrange coffee tins that were already perfectly straight. Savara's fingers brushed the ornate blade at her hip, silver, ancient, sharp enough to cut through a hull suit. Ryan's entire life flashed before his eyes. Mostly boring childhood memories and the devastating realization that he would die wearing sweat-stained work boots. Then she laughed, bright, musical, almost young. The entire marketplace exhaled at once. You should see your face, she said, smiling in a way that felt like a dangerous privilege. Pure, delicious terror, Ryan blinked. My lady? Oh, relax, cargo handler. If I executed everyone who bumped into me, I'd never get any diplomatic work done. Whispers rippled through the crowd. She leaned forward, her voice dropping to a private whisper just for him. Next time you stumble, try not to land on nobility, beat. Unless it's me. I find it entertaining. She glided away, and the world slowly remembered how to breathe. The vendor beside Ryan leaned in. You lucky idiot, he muttered. She just flirted with you. Ryan wasn't sure whether to faint or run, but he definitely watched where he walked from then on. The next day, Ryan walked into the cargo bay ready for a normal shift. Instead, the entire crew spun toward him like he was a celebrity disaster. There he is, Jace shouted. The man who grabbed Lady Savara's butt and lived. Ryan's face turned several interesting colors. I didn't grab anything. I bumped into her. Sure, Min, the supervisor said. Tell that to the 50 witnesses, Ryan groaned. She said it was fine. Bro, Jace said seriously. She laughed. Vampires don't laugh. I've seen her reduce ambassadors to puddles of fear by blinking. Rumors spread fast, and mutated even faster. By lunchtime, Ryan had become an undercover agent seducing vampire nobility, the subject of a 30-day death curse chosen mate in some ancient Sanguis ritual, and strangely, the protagonist of a human vampire romance opera someone was already writing lyrics for. By dinner, Ryan was exhausted again, but this time mentally. His door chimed. He opened it to Jace, breathless. Oh man, Ryan, you need to see this. He dragged Ryan to the communal screen. There she was. Lady Savara standing with other Sanguis nobles during a diplomatic broadcast. 347 years old. Veteran of the Blood Wars, a woman who had survived empires, battles, and centuries. And Ryan had bumped into her like a sleep-deprived pigeon. Dude, Jace whispered. You're so dead. Ryan wasn't sure if he agreed or disagreed. That night, his datapad buzzed. A message, official diplomatic channel. VIVIDS, the Orbital Garden Café, tomorrow, 1400 hours. I promise not to execute you. As Ryan stared at the screen in disbelief. He reread it, twice. Then he laughed, half hysterical and half terrified, because apparently he had a coffee date with a vampire. The Orbital Garden Café was the kind of place humans like him didn't just walk into. Real plants, real sunlight simulation, a panoramic view of stars that made you forget how small you were. But she was already there, Lady Savara. And for the first time, she didn't look like death wrapped in elegance. She looked curious, almost warm. You came, she said. I wasn't sure you would. Ryan sat carefully, like the chair might vaporize. Would it have been worse to show up, or ignore you? She smiled. Fair question. They ordered drinks. She didn't drink blood, at least not here. Just a dark, almost shimmering coffee blend. She held the cup like someone holding a memory. You're nervous, she said. Terrified, he admitted. Good. Keeps you alert. A pause. Then her voice softened. You apologized when you bumped into me? A simple, honest apology. Do you know how rare that is? Most beings fear me, or want something from me. You were just clumsy. That's my gift, Ryan said. Extreme clumsiness, she laughed again, that bright, impossible sound. Conversation flowed, about Earth, about stars, about her centuries fighting wars she no longer believed in, about his mother's garden and tomatoes. By the time the meeting ended, Ryan's nerves had melted into something unexpected. Something dangerous. Something like friendship. Same time next week? She asked. Ryan swallowed. Yes. Her smile held fangs in possibility. Good. Try not to bump into anyone else's backside, meanwhile. Then she drifted away, leaving Ryan alone with two impossible truths. He was alive. And worse, he couldn't wait to see her again.